Well, what is up, everybody? Keith, aka Gator Guy 231 across the DFS industry, here for New Year's Eve's starting five. This is a tough slate, guys. I'm just going to be real with you. I think it's interesting, but if you walk away from your lineups going, I don't love the build, welcome to kind of where I'm at. I have a lot of builds that I like. I'm just like a few hundred away from some plays that I would love. So let's just see how this goes. I do like the five that I'm going to break down, so let's jump right into it. At the top of I think the first guy into most lineups, who I do think is phenomenal GPP leverage tonight, but is James Harden 11,000. It is a very, very soft matchup against the Kings. Should be a fast game. The reason that I say that it's a potentially good GPP leverage is the return of John Wall. Could definitely take away some usage. I think with it being Wall's first game back, first game in, a year and a half after the Achilles tear. I wonder if Wall will get eased in a little bit, maybe be a tad bit timid, especially in a match versus De'Aaron Fox, who's not a slouch defender. So I do think that Harden is going to control a ton of the usage. He will probably enjoy having somebody like John Wall, somebody off the bench like Boogie Cousins to take some of the load off. So I think at 11,000, I'm still very much in on Harden, who's the first guy in my lineup, and the first guy I think you should build around. The second play to me is choosing between Zion or Brandon Ingram. I think it's a really good game environment versus OKC. I am going to lean Zion over Brandon Ingram for the sole reason of matchup. I think that Luz Dort is just a really good defender. We saw how much he annoyed James Harden in the playoffs last year. So I'd much rather take Zion, who has a size in terms of just muscular advantage over Basley. I think that, honestly, if you chose Ingram over Zion, I would not call you crazy. I'm just going to lead in Zion. He had a terrible game. I think that maybe we get a little bit of like a psycho Zion here, just absolutely trying to impose as well. So Zion 7,900, my second guy in. All right, from there, I think that you need to choose a value in Orlando with Terrence Ross. T-Sizzle out, opens up some small forward value. And in the starting line, you could do Dwayne Bacon on 3,300. I'm going to lean Michael Carter-Williams in cash games and say that Dwayne Bacon will be the GPP play. I think Carter-Williams just fills up the stat sheet a little bit more than Bacon, gives us more of a sustainable floor. Also happens to be a hashtag revenge game against the Sixers. And I think that MCW now, I'm a Magic fan, so a year and a half, that's actually been really good for them when he's played. So, for somebody that I want to get, close to 20 to 25 DK, I trust Carter-Williams to get there more, but I think Bacon gives you more of he could just go off if he's shooting well. So that would be how I played that. The next play might surprise, but I think Harrison Barnes really, really solid at 5,400. Has 16, 14, and 15 shots on games that weren't back-to-backs. He has the 6 shots that was on a back-to-back versus Phoenix, who's also against a great defender in Bridges. He's playing mid-30s in minutes. Has looked awesome all season, and this is a good game environment. I think this might be the better game environment on the slate versus Houston. So Harrison Barnes, 5,400, I think it's just a little bit too cheap. Finally, I'm going to go Rudy Gobert, but I'm just going to put a note that I really like Toronto. Toronto, guys, this is supposedly like a do-or-die game. They've been saying, just talking about how the 0-3 start is unacceptable. So I really like Kyle Lowry or Fred VanVleet. Personally, I just think if I go who is going to get me 40 DK more often, I think it's Rudy Gobert at 7,500 versus DeAndre Ayton. He's 40-plus in 3 straight games. He's looked awesome. Double-doubles in all of them. Ayton, in my opinion, when I watch him on the defensive end, is just really soft. Does not want a lot to do with somebody like Rudy Gobert. So I think that I still choose from an optimal cash game perspective, Rudy Gobert 7,500. Would not call you crazy. Would actually call you smart to look at Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet for huge upside. Just the thing is with those two, one of them likely goes off, and the other one, maybe gets in the low 30s, mid 30s. So just picking the right one will be huge. That will do it. Thank you all so much for watching the starting five. I really do hope that you guys like this format change. I think it gets you guys a lot more picks, a lot more value than us trying to run through a slate early on. So once again, Keith, aka Gator Guy 231, drop that subscribe button if you haven't already, and a like, comments, anything like that. We greatly appreciate it. Happy New Year. Get out of here 2020. Here's to 2021 being a lot better. See ya.